There's strong faith, there's weak faith, and then the level underneath that is hypocrisy. And the warning is, if you're in weak faith right now, that means you're in dangerous territory, which means the only one step below, and where will you be? You'll be in nifaq. You don't want to be there. Let me tell you about the people of nifaq. يَوْمَ يَقُولُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ وَالْمُنَافِقَاتِ. The day on which the hypocritical men and women are going to say, لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, to those who believe, انظُرُونَ, look towards us, wait for us. So everybody's walking towards Jannah. The hypocrites are being left behind a little. This is phase 2 of Judgment Day, by the way. The disbelievers have already been discarded. They're already in hellfire, they've been thrown in. Now there is only who left? Believers and hypocrites. And they're marching their way towards Jannah. And because the believers have light coming out of them, they know where to go, so they're moving a little quickly. And by the way, do they have motivation to move quickly? Sure. They sure do. So they're rushing, and then the announcement is made, Jannah. Like, oh. And you know, they're making a dash for it. Now who doesn't have light? Hypocrites don't have a light. They don't have a light. They had fake iman. They didn't have real iman. Maybe at some point they had an intellectual faith, but even that was lost because of they didn't take care of their hearts. So there's no light coming out of their chest because the heart was void. And as a result, the deeds were meaningless because the deeds are nothing if they're not good with good intentions in the heart. So if the heart is hard, then the deeds are worthless. So there's no light with these guys. Now if you're in a dark place and you're walking, some people have torches, you don't have a torch. What do you want to do? Stay close to the people with the torch. You could see some of the light with them. Now if you get left behind and you realize you can't see them anymore, they call out, hey, wait. نَقْتَبِسْ مِن نُورِكُمْ. Qabas in Arabic is a borrowed flame. Like Indiana Jones style, you take your torch and you light the other, or you light your torch with something. So that's basically, can we borrow some of your light? Can we have some of your light so we can have light for ourselves? قِيلَ, it will be said to them. Allah doesn't even say that the Muslims will turn back to them and say. Allah says, qila, shh, over there, shh. Qila, it will be said. It will be said. Allah doesn't even say believers will say it to them. Because that would make it seem like believers are like concerned. An announcement is made. Just like Bushrakumul Yawm, we weren't mentioned, the qa'il, the speaker wasn't mentioned. Just like that, an announcement is made. Irji'u wara'akum. Go back behind you. Turn around and go back. فَالْتَمِسُوا نُورًا. التمس يعني طلبة. Go find light. Go seek it out. Get it somewhere else. This light ain't for you. Go get your own light. These guys are in the utter dark, and they're told, turn around. Go find your own light. فَضُرِبَ بَيْنَهُمْ. But they don't listen. They still want to try to catch up to the believers, right? Because turning back, they realize what that means. So what does Allah say? فَضُرِبَ بَيْنَهُمْ بِسُورٍ. Then between them, a wall will be dropped. A large wall. Sur, from which we also get surah. Surah is large walls that encircle a city. It's not the wall in your backyard. It's not the fence wall. It's the large, Assassin's Creed wall. Big giant wall, can't scale it, etc. Okay? That wall. That kind of huge damn wall will be dropped between them. Lahu bab, which has a door. Lahu bab. Why even mention a door? Ulama comment, there are different levels of munafiqun and people of weak iman. There may be those who are, the Messenger describes, ﷺ, people that will burn in hellfire for some time and then eventually make their way to paradise. Well, how are they going to get to paradise if this gigantor wall is there? What's in that wall? A door. There's still some way. But, and some argue, no, this door is mentioned, so it adds to their hope, so they try to open it and realize they won't open. So it's like insult to injury. بَاطِنُهُ فِيهِ الرَّحْمَةِ. On the other side of it, the side you can't see, there is mercy. وَظَاهِرُهُ. And the obvious side, where these people are at, مِنْ قِبَلِهِ الْعَذَابِ. From the other side of it, is all there is punishment. يُنَادُونَهُمْ. They're going to start calling out from the wall. Now walls don't have ceilings, so you can still hear on the other side. So they start yelling and screaming, أَلَمْ نَكُمْ مَعَكُمْ. Weren't we with you? We were with you. We went to the same school, man. Remember? Mudaf ilayh. You and I were like mudaf and mudaf ilayh, inseparable. Nothing comes between us. What happened today, man? I used to be at the masjid too. I was a believer too. Abdullah ibn Ubay was at the first rows of the masjid. When I went to Masjid al-Nabawi for Fajr, I got to the masjid before the adhan, started walking, prayed some sunnah, kept walking, iqamah was given, I was not even halfway into the masjid. Not even halfway into the masjid. My intention was to try to follow the janazah into Jannatul Baqi'. If you're up ahead, you can follow it. But man, you're like, way back there. You know, in the hallway you have to pray. And you're like, man, these munafiqun, they were in the front row. Behind Rasulullah, not Shaykh Hudayfi, behind Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And yet they're munafiq. Yet they're munafiq. And Allah, now, you know, أَلَمْ نَكُمْ مَعَكُمْ? Weren't we with you? قَالُوا بَلَى, of course you were. Why not? I remember you. وَلَكِنَّكُمْ فَتَنْتُمْ أَنفُسَكُمْ. You put yourselves in trial and difficulty. You put yourselves in tribulation. Shaitan didn't put you in difficulty, you put yourself in difficulty. Fitna is a difficult test. You attacked yourselves. You were given the same motivation we were given. You were given the same reminders we were given. You didn't translate any of that into action because you said, So now what is the explanation of you put yourselves in difficulty, in fitna, in tribulation? وَتَرَبَّصْتُمْ. You procrastinated. Tarabbus, yani wait and see. We'll see. We got time. I got time. I'll change. I know I have to do things. I have to make changes in myself. It can wait. وَغَرَّتْكُمُ الْأَمَانِي. And false hopes deluded you. What are these false hopes that delude people? Oh, you know, things will work out in the end. Allah's not going to throw everyone in hell. I mean, there's so many more people that are much worse than I am that deserve hell. So why would He come after little old me for my little old laziness at Fajr? It's not that big of a deal. At least I make it up. Wishful thinking. Then there are other wishful thoughts. Forget about having aspirations in akhirah. Your only aspirations become dunya. From one promotion to the next. From one set of savings to the next. From one investment to the next. From one workout routine to the next. You know, that's all you become. That's all you amount to. These are your aspirations in life. حَتَّى جَاءَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ. Until the decision of Allah came. وَغَرَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ. And the most deceptive one, the extremely deceptive one got the best of you. Meaning shaitan, Iblis, got the best of you. فَالْيَوْمَ لَا يُؤْخَذُ مِنْكُمْ فِدْيَةٌ. Then on that day, no ransom will be accepted from you. فَالْيَوْمَ لَا يُؤْخَذُ مِنْكُمْ فِدْيَةٌ. On that day, no ransom will be accepted from you. وَلَا مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Nor from those who've disbelieved. Now you've been bunched together with those who disbelieve. مَأْوَاكُمُ النَّارِ. Your final place of refuge is fire. Hiya mawlakum. It is the one that is going to protect you now. It is the one that will guard you now. وَبِئْسَ الْمَصِيرِ. And what a horrible place of final return that is. أَلَمْ يَأْنِي لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. One of the heaviest ayat of complaint in the Qur'an from Allah to Muslims. This ayah. It's so hard. This ayah is so hard. أَلَمْ يَأْنِي لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Hasn't the time come? Hasn't the time come yet? Ya'ni is ana ya'ni is actually from the word an. What does an mean? Now, isn't now the time? Isn't now the time? Hasn't it come yet for believers? أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ. That their hearts should be filled with awe. That their hearts should melt. This is quantitative or qualitative iman? خُشُوعُ الْقَلْبِ. It's qualitative, it's happening in the heart. أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. By remembering Allah.